Hi everyone, welcome back to 8th standard maths class. In the previous video we have learned about isosceles triangle, equilateral triangle and the speciality about their angles also. Now let's move on to problems. Page number 26, first activity. Okay, in page number 26 the activity starts related to the isosceles triangle and equilateral triangle. Let's do the problems. Okay, so first question, here is your question. Question is, some isosceles triangles are drawn below. In each, one angle is given. Find the other angles. Okay, total 4 isosceles triangles are given. In each isosceles triangle, one of the angle is given. For the first figure 30 degree, for the second triangle 40, then 20, then 100. One angle is given. You have to check the figure properly and find the other two angles. Okay, all are isosceles triangle, that is the clue given. So let's start from the first figure, that is angle with 30 degree. This is a rough figure of the first one, ABC. I name this triangle as ABC. One angle given, it is 30 degree. We have to find angle B and angle C. It is given that this is an isosceles triangle. What do you mean by isosceles triangle? Isosceles triangle means two sides will be equal. So here AC and BC. By looking into the figure, you can see that these two sides are equal. So these two sides equal means their opposite angles will also be equal. That is a speciality of isosceles triangle. So opposite of this side angle 30 degree means opposite of this side angle will also be 30 degree. So here 30 degree we got this one. Now to find the third one, 180 minus 30 plus 30, that is angle C equal to 180 minus 30 plus 30. Sum of angles 180 degree. Sum of three angles 180 degree. That's why 180 minus 30 plus 30. So this is equal to 30 plus 30, answer is 60. So 180 minus 60, answer will be 120 degree. That means angle C will be 120 degree. This is the answer for the first one. The second figure is this one, ABC with one angle as 40 degree. Okay, one angle here it is 40 degree. And you can see AC and BC are the equal sides. These two are the equal sides, not these two or these two. Okay, AC and BC are the equal sides. That means these two angles will also be equal. These two sides means their opposite angles will also be equal. That means these two angles will be equal. And one angle given as 40 degree. So in order to find these two equation, that means method is 180 minus this 40. 180 minus 40 whole divided by 2. Okay, 180 minus 40 divided by 2 will be the answer. 180 minus 40 is what? 140. 140 by 2, that is 70 degree. That means each angle will be 70 degree. This will be 70 and this will also be 70. 70 plus 70, 140. 140 plus 40, 180. So sum will be 180 degree. Okay, so this is the method. 180 minus 40 by 2. In order to get the same angles, this is the equation. Okay, now the third figure and the fourth figure you can do by yourself using the same method. Okay, the remaining two figures are same like this. Okay, the angle which is not equal is given. Okay, so use this method and find the answer for the remaining two figures. Next is question number 2. One angle of an isosceles triangle is 90 degree. What are the other two angles? Here figure is not given, but no issue, we can find the answer. Because for an isosceles triangle, one angle 90 degree means sum of the other two will also be 90 degree. Then only we will get sum of that triangle as 180 degree. So let's do same like the previous question. Let's do this. Okay, so one angle 90 degree is given. That 90 degree is not an equal angle. Okay, so the remaining two sides will be the equal sides and the opposites will be two equal angles. So remaining two equal angles, how we will find in the previous problem, that is using the figure. What was the equation? Equation was 180 minus that given angle, that is 90 here. So 180 minus 90 whole divided by 2. That is 180 minus 90 is 90 by 2. So 90 by 2 answer is 45 degree. So 45 degree is the one angle. The next will also be 45 degree. Okay, so total sum will be 180 degree. 45 plus 145. Next 145. One angle 90 degree means the figure will be like this. Okay, so A, B, C. This is also already 90 degree given. So angle B will be 45 degree. Angle C will also be 45 degree. Okay, so this is the answer. 180 minus 90 by 2. Learn this equation properly. Okay, in order to get the same angles of an isosceles triangle. Okay, 180 minus given angle whole divided by 2. Next is question number 3. One angle of an isosceles triangle is 60 degree. What are the other two angles? Same like the previous question. Let's do. One angle given, that is 60 degree. One angle 60 degree. So remaining two equal angles will be equal to 180 minus given angle, that is 60 whole divided by 2. So 180 minus 60, answer is 120. 120 by 2. So 120 by 2, answer will be 60 degree. So the remaining two angles will also be 60 degree. So one angle 60 degree means the approximate figure will be like this. Okay, this is 60 degree. So these two sides are equal. Then the opposite will also be 60 degree here, 60 degree here. This is not only isosceles triangle, it is equilateral triangle also. Okay, that is our next rule. That means all isosceles triangle may not be equal to equilateral triangle, but all equilateral triangle will be isosceles triangle. All equilateral triangle, anyway, all the three sides are equal. So any two sides equal, it will be isosceles. So equilateral triangles are satisfying both the rules, isosceles triangle rule and equilateral triangle rule. But isosceles triangle not satisfying equilateral triangle. Next is question number 5. Here I am not explaining question number 4 because by learning this question number 5, you can do question number 4. Same like this. Okay, so let's do question number 5. Question is, in the figure below, O is the center of the circle and A, B, C are points on the circle. Figure is given. What are the angles of triangle ABC? Whole angle we need to find. The complete triangle ABC's whole angles we need to find. Okay, so let's draw the rough figure first. After that, let's solve. So this is a rough figure given in the question. ABC. Two angles are given. Central angle 120 degree and 120 degree. These two angles given. We have to find all angles of triangle ABC. That means angle A we need, angle B and angle C. So for that, we need to consider each angle. That means these three lines divide the triangle ABC into three parts. Okay, so let's consider first OAB. Consider triangle OAB. Okay, you can see OA and OB are the radius of this circle. OA is a radius and OB also radius. And what is the relation of radius? Radius of the circle will be always equal. Okay, so OA equal to OB. These two sides equal means this triangle OAB is an isosceles triangle. OAB is an isosceles triangle. So isosceles triangle means the angles opposite to equal sides will also be equal. That means this two angles will be equal. How we will find these two angles? What is the equation? 180 minus 120 whole divided by 2. So 180 minus 120 means it is 60. So 60 by 2, answer will be 30 degree. That means each angle will be 30 degree. So each angle here we got as 30 degree because OA equal to OB equal to radius. Only because of these two are equal. That's why radius. Okay. That's why we consider that triangle as an isosceles triangle. Otherwise, it may not be possible. Okay. So, these two parts we got. Now, let's consider the next triangle triangle OAC. Triangle OAC. For this triangle also, OA and OC. OA equal to OC. These two are also what? Radius. Okay. OA and OC are also radius. Therefore, this triangle OAC is also an isosceles triangle. So, one angle 120 degree. So, the remaining two angles will be what? The same 30 degree we will get, because 120 same here, no? So, these two will also be what? 30 degree. This is 30 degree. This will also be 30 degree. Okay, next is we need these two parts. Okay, these two parts we need. Angle B is one portion, angle C is one portion, then only we can add all these. Okay, so for that we don't know angle here. For these two triangles we know 120 degree here, 120 degree here, but here it is not given. But we know angle around a center. Angle around a center, it is 360 degree. 7th standard you have learned that. Okay, so angle around a point is 360 degree, means two parts already here. So in order to get the third part, what we will do? 360 minus 120 plus 120. Okay, because angle around the center it is 360 degree. So 360 degree is divided into three parts here. First part, second part, third part. So 360 minus 120 plus 120. That is 360 minus 240. Answer again it will be 120 degree. That means this part will also be 120 degree. So this is 120 degree, means these two angles will be what? Same like the previous case. This will also be 30 and 30. Okay, now for the triangle ABC, angle A will be what? One portion 30 degree, next portion 30 degree. So total will be what? 30 plus 30. So triangle ABC, angle A equal to 30 plus 30, that is 60 degree. Angle B will be what? Angle B also first half 30, next half also 30. So 30 plus 30 equal to 60. Angle C will also be what? 30 here, 30 here. So 30 plus 30 equal to 60 degree. Okay, so this is the answer. And what is the speciality of this triangle ABC? All angles we got as 60 degree. That means all the angles we got as 60 degree. That means this triangle is an what? Equilateral triangle. Triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. Okay. Next subheading is bisectors. Okay. Bisectors means two type bisectors are there. First one perpendicular bisector and next is angle bisector. Bisector of an angle and bisector of a line. So these two are the bisectors. First one perpendicular bisector. Here perpendicular bisector means a line. For example, a line is divided by another line. A perpendicular line cuts this line into two equal halves. Two equal halves means, for example, AB is the line. Okay, CD is a perpendicular line. If this CD cuts this AB into equal parts. Equal part means if AB is 6 centimeter, if this is 3, this is 3. Like this, if CD cuts this AB, then we say that CD is the perpendicular bisector of AB. Okay, CD is a perpendicular bisector of AB. So perpendicular bisector means a line which divide another line into two equal halves. Okay, a perpendicular line which divide another line into two equal halves is known as perpendicular bisector. Next is bisector of an angle. An angle also we can divide into two equal halves. For example, this is an angle. Okay, say example. If this angle is cut by a line, okay, if this line ABC is the angle DB, the line DB cuts this angle ABC into two equal halves. For example, this angle is total 60 degree. Okay, total it is 60 degree. If the 60 degree angle is cut by this dB into two equal halves, means 60 half is 30 degree here, 30 degree here. If this dB cuts this angle into two equal halves, then this dB is known as bisector of an angle. Angle bisector. Okay, bisector of an angle. These two are the bisectors, and method is there to draw these bisectors. Okay, by doing the problem, let's learn how to draw the perpendicular bisectors. So take page number 29, first question. This is the first question. Draw a line 6.5 centimeter and draw its perpendicular bisector. So we need first a 6.5 centimeter long line. So all of you be ready with your instrument box. Okay, scale, compass, pencil, etc. Okay, so first, using scale, draw a line 6.5 centimeter. Draw a line 6.5 centimeter like this, A, B. Okay, mark the endpoints as A and B. Use the scale and exact 6.5 centimeter you have to draw. After drawing this, take your compass. Okay, set your compass and keep the pinpoint of the compass. Okay, pinpoint at the point B. Keep the pinpoint at the point B. Measure approximately more than half of that line AB. Approximately more than half. Okay, no need to measure. Just take around 3/4 of this line AB. Okay, like this. Then draw an arc in the upper side. Okay, like this. Draw an arc in the upper side. Then here also just draw an arc like this. Okay, now with the same measurement, don't change the measurement of the compass. Keep the pinpoint at the point A, then draw one arc in the upper side like this. Okay, same in the down portion also like this. Okay, so we got two arcs in the upside and in the downside. These two arcs will join at a common point. Mark that point. Okay, just mark that point in both the side like this. Okay, after that take your scale. Take the scale and join these two points. Join these two points like this. Okay, so this line is a perpendicular bisector of this 6.5 centimeter line. Okay, so once again I will repeat the method. First draw the length. Okay, here question is draw 6.5 centimeter line. So first draw 6.5 centimeter line, then take the compass and keep the pinpoint at the point B. Measure more than half of this line. Okay, without any measurement, just take approximate measurement. Draw two arc in the upper side and in the lower side. Same procedure from the A point also. Keep the pinpoint at the point A. Draw one arc in the upper side, one arc in the lower side. Then you will get 2 points. Just join that 2 points. This is the method to draw a perpendicular bisector of a line. Okay. Next is question number 2. Draw a square, each side 3.75 centimeter long. 3.75 centimeter. So here in this question, we need a square like this. Okay, all sides must be 3.75 centimeter. But using scale, it is not possible to measure 3.75 centimeter. We won't get exact measurement of 3.75 centimeter. Now, how we will draw this? For that, we can use the perpendicular bisector method. That means if we are extending this 3.75 centimeter to this side, okay, 3.75 centimeter here also, by drawing the perpendicular bisector, we will get this point, okay, half of this. So in order to get 3.75 centimeter, what will be the total measurement? 3.75 plus 3.75, that will be equal to 7.5 centimeter. So 7.5 centimeter we will get when we add these two. So 7.5 centimeters, half is 3.75 centimeter. So in order to get 3.75, first of all we need a 7.5 centimeter long line. After drawing the perpendicular bisector of that 7.5, we will get 3.75. Using that we can draw the square. So first draw 7.5 centimeter long line. So this is the 7.5 centimeter line AB. Now we need to draw the perpendicular bisector of this line. So for that we need the compass and keep the pinpoint at the point B. Measure approximate 3/4 of this line. Okay. After that draw an arc in the upper side, same in the down portion, like this. Okay, now do the same procedure from the point A also. Keep the pinpoint at A and draw an arc in the upper side and draw an arc in the lower side. Okay, now we got 2 points in these two sides. Mark that points. Then join these 2 points. That will be the perpendicular bisector of 7.5 centimeter. Like this. Now this bisector divide AB into 2 equal half. Okay, this perpendicular bisector divide the line AB into 2 equal half, means 7.5's half is 3.75. 3.75. That means in these two portions, one portion will be 3.75, next will also be 3.75. So by using measurement from this point, let's take this point as O. From this O to B is the 3.75. Using this measurement, we can draw the square. So for that, take your compass again and measure the 3.75 in the compass. From the B point up to the point O is enough. Okay, up to the point O, like this. Okay, from the B point up to the point O is enough, and draw one arc here, like this. Then in this side also, total 4 side we need. Okay, from the O point also draw one arc in that line. Okay, so we got one side, this second side. In order to get the next side, keep the compass at this point. Okay, by drawing this arc we will get one point here, so keep the compass here, draw another arc like this. Okay, now join B to this point to this point, like this. That will be the square with all the side as 3.75 centimeter, because we measured 3.75 in the compass. Okay, like this. So after joining the point, we will get a square like this. Okay, 3.5 centimeter. Let's mark these points as C and D. Okay, so O, B, C, D is the square which have all the sides as 3.75 centimeter. Okay, so this is the answer. Hope you understood. Thank you. See you in the next video.